Hello, my name is Christian DeLupa here for PC Mech, and today I'm going to be taking a look at Age of Empires World Domination. Now, if you're like me, you spent hours playing Age of Empires as a kid. Every now and then, I've thought about the game since then, looking forward to the time that I could play it once again, and confident that the franchise wasn't dead just yet. Rumors about an Age of Empires game for Android and iOS have been floating around for a while now, and while Microsoft did bring Age of Empires Castle Siege to iOS, many rightfully knew that this wasn't the Age of Empires game that we had been hoping for. That game just launched, and while currently, at the time of this review, it's only out in Singapore and Philippines, it's almost certain that by the time you're watching this, it'll be out worldwide. I was able to get my hands on the game to take a look and see if it lives up to my inner child's dreams. Now, upon first opening up the game, you'll be faced with the standard mobile game rigmarole. Sign up, enter your name, download additional files, and so on. Afterwards, you'll go through a pretty lengthy training period where you'll learn different aspects of the game and how it's played. Let's make something very clear. If you're expecting to play the Age of Empires games of old on your mobile device, you'll be disappointed. It's not the same game. That's not necessarily a bad thing, but it is something to be aware of. The menus and main screen are pretty easy to use and get used to, especially after a few days of use. The game isn't one that relies on graphics, but the graphics aren't bad at all for the type of game that it is. While everything looks good, unfortunately the game is pretty confusing. Like previous Age of Empires games, users start by building what are supposed to be centers for different supplies. You collect wood, gold, stone, food, and gems. This is all done automatically. No need to send out villagers to try and collect supplies like past Age of Empires games. These supplies are used for things like building new buildings, upgrading buildings, training soldiers, and so on. Except for the gems, which are used to make upgrades and training go quicker, and, you guessed it, can be purchased for real-world money. Speaking of soldiers, there are 4 types: militia, spearmen, scout cavalry, and archer. Different types of soldiers are assigned to different heroes, and certain heroes have different advantages when they're assigned to the right kind of army. Users will also build structures related to the different armies, with different buildings being used to train the different types of soldiers. The building of a town, assigning and training of armies, and collecting of supplies all take place on one screen. Battles take place on another. Like many other games of this nature, users head to a map to conquer different areas and advance through the world. During battles, users will start with their garrison, which is the main building that can be used to send out different heroes and the armies associated with these heroes. Armies can be assigned to different modes. For example, when a battle starts, the battleground is usually shrouded in darkness, with armies first needing to explore the land to both find the enemy and to find land to build extra buildings on. Usually, the objective of the battle is just to destroy the enemy garrison, and users have 10 minutes to do so. If the time runs out, or the user's garrison is destroyed, the user loses. After a battle, users will win rewards in the form of extra supplies, gems, and other items that can be used to advance your civilization in some way. You'll also win experience, which will level you up, and after reaching a certain level, you'll be able to trade supplies for an advancement in age. Advancing in age is the real goal of the game, and will allow users to reach new heights. Buildings will look and perform better, capacities will improve, and users will be an overall better player. While it's a little confusing to get used to, in reality it's not that bad. After an hour or so of playing, you'll get the hang of the game, and the roles of the different points and supplies will begin to be obvious. Overall, Age of Empires World Domination is a great attempt at a mobile Age of Empires game. I would love to one day see the original games ported over to iOS and Android. However, it's easy to see why that might never happen. The game tries to appeal to both the seasoned Age of Empires fan and those that have never heard of the game, something that it does quite well despite initial confusion as to how the game works. Not only that, but the game is free apart from any in-game purchases that you might decide to buy. To get the game for yourself, you can head to the Google Play Store if you're an Android user, or the App Store for iOS users. If you can't yet download the game, that likely means that it hasn't rolled out to your country, so just be patient and check back often. Thanks again for watching. Again, my name is Christian DeLupa, here for PC Mech. We'll see you next time.